I'm asking how much does the knowledge, current scientific knowledge in the scientific community clash with the religious uh, possibilities provided by the Hinduism?
Well,
How
it
much does
depends on
it
the
clash?
claim, right? What is the claim again? With the claim that you made earlier.
No, like it is my personal, if I talk about my personal views, like I'm a bit of an open-minded, I like to think of myself as an open-minded person. But
Hmm.
then the atheists and all I see on social media, they keep on saying that if you are religious, if you believe there is a God, then you are stupid and all. So that does not make a great sense for me, because believing in this, like many of their scientists have been religious in the past, and
Hmm.
I do not
So,
want to
Aryan,
be
Aryan, we come back to the previous point only, where you are expressing a belief and there is no evidence to support that belief, and therefore that belief cannot be taken seriously. To that extent, you may say that science clashes with it.
No, but that currently we do not have enough scientific data that clashes with the you know दूर के मतलब फेंके हुए religious beliefs. Like we
No, no,
the religious
I'm talking specifically about the claim that you made, that the universe was created by a conscious being. There is no evidence for it. So we can't take it seriously. That's
so
it.
that is a hypothesis,
Which is a hypothesis.
that the claim that the universe was created by a conscious being, that makes it
Yeah.
a hypothesis, just like a
Yeah.
many
So,
worlds
so
theory and
it
all.
remains a hypothesis. You are not the first to come up with this hypothesis. There is no observed data on the basis of which this hypothesis has been made. No scientific paper has been written about it. People have been claiming this for thousands of years. Till now, no evidence of it has been found. हम कितने साल तक इस hypothesis को seriously लेते रहेंगे? But even if I let go of all of that and assume that you're the first person to make this hypothesis, where is the evidence?
Where is
अभी
the
मैं अगर
evidence for
बोलूँगा
evidence for
अभी मैं
parallel
अगर
world?
बोलूँगा आर्यन, अभी मैं अगर बोलूँगा कि Hinduism is completely wrong and everything Hindus believe was planted in their mind by a trans-dimensional alien. Would you accept that as a hypothesis?
That is a valid hypothesis with no evidence.
Exactly. The same applies to yours also. ऐसे तो कोई भी कुछ भी बोल डालेगा. It has to be based on something, right? What is it based on?
But
It's not
it is
based on
the
anything. It's just a
but
khayali pulao.
you can also think of it like as an opportunity when you cannot be wrong, like in the many worlds theory itself, it does not clash with the
उसका भी कोई
mathematics.
एविडेंस नहीं है. वो many word theory is
Yes,
also a purely hypothetical thing. उसका भी कोई एविडेंस नहीं है. I
so
don't take
why
that to be a
so,
scientific reality.
so why the when you talk about things like many worlds and all, you are intellectual, and suddenly when you come to
When did I do
topics like
that?
religion,
When did I do that?
not you,
Then
I
why are
am
you
talking
talking
about
to me about it? Whoever जिसने भी बोला उससे बात करो ना भाई.
it is a
जिसने ये
general,
बोला उससे बात करो.
it
मुझे
is
क्यों
general
बोल रहे हो?
environment.
When did I ever take many words hypothesis as if it is scientific truth?
Not you, like I am talking about the general environment of the society. We're talking
मतलब जनरल
about these things
एनवायरनमेंट ऑफ
with
सोसाइटी कुछ होता नहीं है. सुनो सुनो सुनो. सोसाइटी में हम लोग साइंटिफिक मेथड को फॉलो करते हैं. हम सब करते हैं. सड़क पार करते समय भी करते हैं. सम थिंग्स वी नो फॉर रीजनेबली श्योर, राइट? एंड सम थिंग्स वी हैव डाउट्स अबाउट. जिन चीज़ों के बारे में डाउट है, उसके ऊपर रिसर्च चल रही है. जब पता चलेगा तो पता चलेगा. जब नहीं पता चलेगा तो तब उसको सच क्यों माने? You are saying कि the many worlds hypothesis and the God hypothesis should be placed on the same pedestal?
most probably yes,
Let me point something out to you. The many world hypothesis is new, right?
right,
The God hypothesis is old, very old, in fact. Beginning of civilization से चल रहा है.
yes.
So, tell me what happens if people keep talking about the many worlds hypothesis for 10,000 years and no evidence is ever presented. Will we still consider it hypothesis?
If in the 10,000 years we are able to deny it with evidence, then surely it will fade away. But
No, we
even if
deny. How
10,000
how
years
would you
of,
deny? How would you deny it with evidence? There is no
like
evidence either way for 10,000
we develop
years.
mathematics so much that we can confirm it. We explore the universe,
You
we
that we
explore
have
the
already done.
cosmos.
Using mathematics, we have confirmed the existence of more than 3 dimensions. I think it's about 11 now, right? But
Yes,
that has
yes.
got nothing to do with the many worlds hypothesis, which is a completely different thing.
No,
Mathematical
mathematics has
dimensions
many.
Mathematical dimensions and the many worlds hypothesis are two different things. My question to you is very simple. If people keep presenting the many worlds hypothesis for 10,000 years and it gets neither proved nor disproved, will you take it seriously?
What I'm trying to point out is that
अरे
if
जवाब दो
even
ना भाई
after,
सवाल का आर्यन मैंने जो पूछा उसका जवाब दो ना
मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि अगर 10,000 साल की
मैंने
कांस्टेंट
जो पूछा
डेवलपमेंट के
उसका
बाद भी,
जवाब दो नहीं नहीं मुझे
sir,
वो नहीं
I'm
सुनो मैंने
giving,
जो
sir,
पूछा उसका
one
जवाब
word
दो मुझे
answers never have validation, sir. Let me speak one sentence.
बोल
Sir, I'm saying that even if after 10,000 years of constant development, if there is no disprovement or approvement, then we are in a like it does not get more or less, valid with that. The hypothesis remains the same at the same level. Like 10,000 years is a small big scale for us, but if we cannot move our pointer even at 1% of proving it or denying it, then it has the same validity. It remains the same.
okay I will grant you that but then let me ask you this if for 10,000 years we had the God hypothesis, and at one point people said that God is inside us, then at another point people said God is on top of the mountain, and at another point people said God is in space, and each time we checked all of these things, it was found to be false. And now we are talking about God in a way that makes it unfalsifiable in a slightly different way, that it is outside the universe only. Will you take it seriously? Because the hypothesis itself keeps changing.
Sir, what you're talking about is the, like in the beginning only I said that the basic structure of Hinduism. Why the reason I made the statement is that there are a lot of people, like crores of people following Hinduism, and the
Hmm.
later texts are a little bit uh, of conflict, a topic of conflict, because what is God? They were not God actually; they are beings. Now, if you say that they were some as were avatars, some were mere mortals,
So
so
if
they are
if if your
described in a
if
way.
your definition of God is changing from time to time, are you even talking about the same hypothesis?
No, it has remained the same. Like the
No, it's
Param
not the
Brahma
same
is the
hypothesis. If your hypothesis, you started this conversation by saying that God is a being outside the damn universe. And now you're saying God is an alien species. It's not the same hypothesis.
no.
You're
I
just
did not
using
say
the
God is
God,
an alien species.
you
I am
use the
saying
word
that
God to describe two very different things.
no. I am from the beginning till now in Hinduism. The meaning of true God is Param Brahma, who is all powerful, all omnipresent. Everything beyond us
The
is
same
his
as same as
branches.
Islam and Christianity. Okay, go on.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hmm.
100%. And then
Hmm.
he has branched, and the later his creations, his manifestations have taken place on earth. And then many of the, like the events have taken place like Ramayana and Mahabharata, but
Hmm.
their scales and, details have been varied from place to place, people to people, communities to communities. So they may create a conflict, but can you name something that has been, like a total, like common in all the Hinduism and has been disproved by science? Are you like you are saying he's there and we found that it was wrong? Something like that, if you would like to share.
Sure, there have been claims about God throughout history. And all those times, whenever we checked, we found that whatever is being said about God is better explained by something else. For
For
example,
instance,
people have seen God's image on bread. People have seen God do miracles like a statue drinking milk. These all have better explanations, natural explanations. So if the word God is used to denote a variety of hypotheses, then you can't say that the God hypothesis is a hypothesis. All you have is support for one word, and you are willy nilly taking it and applying it to whatever claim you want to describe as godly. By the way, did we have a
mm,
conversation on Instagram earlier today?
no, sir.
Okay.
So I'm saying that, like, I would not like to defend the entirety of religion itself. Today,
Hmm.
I am here, to Like I'm discreetly, I have no database on other religions as much as I do on Hinduism, so I would not be able to defend them as much. Like I don't know pills and drinks and all, but I would like to know as a Hindu, like what are the like common in the entirety of the religion. Like north से आप south भी अगर पूछोगे वो लोग एक ही बात बोल रहे हैं, and that
क्या बात बोल
has
रहे हैं?
been disproved.
वो लोग एक
Like
बात
I am
नहीं
asking
बोल रहे हैं
you,
भाई। आर्यन, आई थिंक द पॉइंट दैट यू आर मिसिंग इज दैट even you don't know what your hypothesis is. Because earlier your hypothesis was that the universe was created by a conscious being. At some point of time, you shifted to, sentient alien beings. And now you're talking about human beings having access to this being who's outside the universe, as well as simultaneously conscious alien beings.
no. First of all, I think that I may have misspelled the alien thing. Alien thing is not in even in consideration my hypothesis.
Cool,
My
cool.
hypothesis is solely
Can
based
you,
on that.
Aryan, solve my problem? Give me a clear definition of your hypothesis.
Okay, so my
Present it as
hypothesis.
clearly as possible.
Okay, so my hypothesis is like there initially there was a creator, omnipresent, omnipowerful, like before the universe. He or she
How do you
created the
know that? How
universe.
do you know? Okay. So what is your method to gain any knowledge about something that was beyond or before the universe?
Uh, the same way we currently study the Big Bang, that is the after radiations of the Big Bang. So,
What is the
in my
after
hypothesis,
radiation of what is the after radiation equivalent of God?
his later manifestations, like Mahabharata, in Mahabharata, in Ramayana, and all.
Right. So you have made a major jump there because
Yes,
what you are comparing two things. You're comparing the cosmic origins of the universe with utterances by a human being standing on one planet in this vast universe.
yes.
How did you make that jump?
No, I am not making the jump. In the hypothesis in its entirety is about the nature of the universe and how it has been. Like the Big Bang leads to the background radiations and everything after that happens, like the space dust, the how the stars form in the space dust, how they collect. That is
And what is that?
entirety of.
Hold on. What does that have to do with Mahabharat?
I am saying that my hypothesis initially makes a statement like it is a long hypothesis. No, initially it states that there is a God, omnipresent, omni-being. He creates the universe.
Hmm.
Later, when the universe is created, like everything is happened by him.
Can I just stop you? Let's go
Yes,
step by step. The first step is a being that creates universe and everything. How do you know
yes.
this?
I don't know this. That is why it is an hypothesis.
And what is the later part of it?
Later part, he creates the universe. It is formed exactly the way it is now. The
Aryan,
humans.
इसको hypothesis, इसको मतलब if you want, I suppose very generously you can call it a hypothesis, but this is just a khayali pulao that is based on no data at all.
That is
If I
that is
create a hypothesis so-called right now about cosmic ducks who are unconscious and farting, and the universe is coming out of their ass, is there any way you can say that that is not a hypothesis?
technically not.
No, because I'm not giving you any data at all. I'm
That
just
is the
saying that this
definition of
happened.
hypothesis, sir, respectfully.
Hypothesis. So, sure, some hypotheses have more data supporting it, and some have less data supporting it.
Yes,
But
yes,
if
yes.
if something has zero data supporting it, then how is it a hypothesis?
Sir, sir, there are many hypotheses. The like in the scientific world also we make many hypotheses on the basis of observation, but we cannot deny it. That
So,
is my
so
major.
okay, so let me draw a baseline here. I will pay attention to hypotheses that come with at least some data. When it's a khayali pulao, I will not even consider it. Is that sufficient?
Sir, data, if you ask me, there are multiple forms of data. Like if you are simply referring to data that
So give me the
we
data now.
use now,
Multiple. Don't tell me about multiple forms of data. Give me the data that supports your claim or your hypothesis that the universe was created by a conscious being.
sir, I have none. Like the many worlds theory,
What?
sir, I have none data
You don't have
as in
data?
the many worlds. I have none.
You don't have data. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Cool. It's over. I'm not interested.
Sir, but
You can create
it's still
as
valid.
many stories as you want. The many world theory is one of them. You can create as many stories as you want about what happened before the Big Bang. I'm not interested unless it is based on some kind of data.
Sir, you may not be interested, but at least it cannot be disqualified and this following the scientific method.
At
That
least
is
on
what I
this
am
channel,
asking you.
at least on this channel, it will be disqualified. Cool?
Sir, on what basis, sir?
Because there is no data. I already told you.
Sir, so is the many world theory and made by the many famous scientists is also invalid to you?
Is that an appeal to authority?
No, sir. I am asking you simple question.
You're saying
Even
many
if,
world theory presented by many famous scientists बोलने की क्या जरूरत थी? Are you only believing in it because many famous scientists said it? Or do
no,
you have
sir,
some other reason for doing so?
the sole reason I am doing so is to confirm that whether you disproving my, uh,
I haven't
you know,
disproved anything. I haven't even started to understand what you're saying because there is no fucking data.
no,
If
sir,
there is
you are
no
saying that,
data for
no,
a
sir, you are saying
hypothesis,
that,
I will not take it seriously, and that includes
so,
the many worlds hypothesis. Whenever there is data for the many worlds hypothesis, I will start taking it seriously.
so you are saying that on this channel, like the my hypothesis and the many worlds hypothesis is the same and is
Yes.
at the same pedestal.
Yes. Although yours is older and has been debunked a bunch of times, but for all practical purposes, I would say कि any hypothesis that comes with zero data will not be taken seriously here.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Because the many worlds hypothesis at least has a clear form. If I ask a scientist who presented it to present it, they would be able to tell me exactly what they mean. When you talk about the God hypothesis, 10 people will have 10 definitions of it. 20 people will have 20,000 definitions of it. It's not a hypothesis, it's a fairy tale. That's what I'm saying. If you want your
And what I'm saying
hypothesis
is,
to be restricted, write it out in clear terms with data, with notations, and have it published in a scientific paper. You don't need a YouTube, fucking my YouTube channel of all places, you don't need. You need a scientific journal and a place to present that hypothesis. There are Hindus who will disagree with you. There have been Hindus who come to this channel who say that, see, that God idea about creator of the universe is not Hindu, it's Abrahamic.
then they are
So
not
this
following of
is not a
the
Hindu
text
hypothesis.
seriously.
It's just your personal favorite fairy tale. It's not a hypothesis. I don't think so. But anyway, Aryan, thank you for coming and thank you for this conversation. I'll talk to you some other time. Cool.
Thank you.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.